do that, but we'll see.
Best answer I've ever had to that question, by the way. That's pretty funny. All right, so acting and production are in your blood. Tell us about your family background and how did you get into this profession?
Well, my parents met, this is a little expose on me. My folks met working on The Tonight Show. My dad was the associate director of The Tonight Show. My mom was Johnny Carson's brother's assistant. So they met there and they, had me. And then I grew up on sets my whole life. I was walking into NBC studios when I was a kid, walking on the back stages. Moved to California when I was 10. My dad worked on lots of movies, Clint Eastwood and Chuck Norris, and he did Midnight Run. And so I was always around sets and movies. It was very second nature to me. When I was 12 years old, my parents asked if I wanted to, do commercials, and my question was, do we have enough money to be on TV? And they said, no, they pay you. And I said, wait, they pay you to do this? I said, all right. So I signed up to do commercials when I was 12, and just took it as a hobby and held it loosely. My dad always said, treat it like a sport. Don't take it too seriously. If you get upset every time you don't get something, then we'll stop doing this. So he kind of taught me to hold it loosely and have fun with it. And then Karate Kid came around, and became an actor. Then I became known as a quintessential 80s asshole. So, thank you, folks.
You can't piss him on live.
You actually ever had a real, I won't say a real job, that was a
So I had many real jobs.
a normal job, a normal non-Hollywood type job.
Well, actually, after I did The Karate Kid, I knew the movie was going to come out, and I was like, I'm not going to really be able to do certain jobs. So I took a job as a busboy at Fridays. And the week before the movie came out, I was carrying 2 tubs full of junk or whatever, glasses and food and everything. And the manager was barking at me to give him 200%. I'm like, dude, I got 2 tubs full of greasy plates right here. I quit. I laid it down. It was a Saturday night, and I laid it right there in front of his feet. But you can't quit. I'm like, yeah, I do. And I knew in my mind that Karate Kid was coming out in a week. And that was that. So that was that, yeah. And then I came back actually, not long after that, and the guy's giving me a great table, and turns out he was an actor, and he wanted to talk. Sorry.
Did they enforce the pieces of flair in your busboy case?
What was that? Oh, you know what? That was for the waiters. The busboys just had greasy arms and
there you go. All right. I made that one up myself. Was even on the card. Yeah, thanks. Feel pretty good about that. Okay, so Johnny Lawrence villain in the original movies. The show comes out, the TV show comes out, and you're beloved. You're a sympathetic character. Like, how has that changed how fans treat you with Cobra Kai versus the original Karate Kid?
Well, one is people, I used to have dads walk by tables and bring their kids up to meet me and say, this is the biggest asshole in the world. and then we walk away. Now, people are, listen, I never saw Johnny as a villain. I never was the bad guy in the movie, but the way I played him as Billy Zapka, being able to play Johnny Lawrence, was to find a soft spot, and that was the end when he hands him the trophy and Priest saying sweep the leg and he doesn't do it. So I figured he had a bad sensei, he wasn't like a bad guy, he had a good core. And Cobra Kai is kind of built on that core, on his goodness and what happened to him, who is he? So it's been great. It's been really fun to get to put humor and action and depth and humanity and do it over seasons, over 10 episodes, and have many layers. It's been amazing, and the fans of the show, are great, amazing, and very thankful. And so it's changed a lot. Yeah, it's changed a lot. I would get, people were fans, and they'd say, they'd be nice as well, but to play a role that's resonating with fans, and they're finding themselves in Johnny Lawrence's Coors Banquet, and his rock and roll, it's cool.
Very cool.
Thank you, guys.
So, you were nominated for an Academy Award for basically co-writing and producing a short film.
That's right.
So how did you get involved with that?
Well, first of all, I was nominated for writing and producing a short film, and we lost. So I got the second place trophy there. But my speech, what I wanted to say, and I really was going to say this, is to walk up and say, you know, I'm really honored to get the Academy Award for producing and writing, but what I really want to be is an actor. That's what I was going to say. Didn't get to say it. I was a filmmaker. I had a film camera in my hand from the time I was 10 years old. Dad had an 8mm film camera, and I was like the youngest kid in the 8mm film clubs, constantly making movies. We did like Star Wars spoofs, and I'd take a little needle and scratch the film where we were shooting out of a lightsaber. And we did a lot of fun stuff. One day I'll put those all together and put them out, because I was like 10, 11 years old, and they were really creative and cool. What was the question?
I'm just curious, because like usually there's like 4 or 5 nominees. How do you know you?
Oh, yes.
How do you know you got the second place trophy?
So, how do I know I got second place? That's really true. Thank you. You mean my place? No. Our film. It's true. Just you know me. So I went to film school. After high school, I didn't go to acting school to become an actor. I went to film school to become a filmmaker. That was my first love. And while I was at Cal State Northridge studying film, I had to audition for Northridge. While I was there studying, I got cast in The Karate Kid, and then I had to pull out of school. We actually filmed the final tournament scene in the school and the campus, so I got to go back and do that. But I was always a filmmaker at heart. There was a time in my career where I just felt like I didn't want to do somebody else's lines and be in somebody else's play, and wanted to get behind the camera and do what I love first. So went to Europe, came up with an idea for a movie with my partner, and we spent 2.5 years